Battle of the Network shows. Join Rick Brooks and Mike Kogel as they explore the TV of the 70s and 80s through hand-picked episodes of their favorite and not-so-favorite series.
Welcome to a Battle of the Network Show's bonus episode. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rick. Hello, everyone.
And we're coming to you from deep in the BOTNS vaults.
That's right. We've gone in there and extricated some interesting material for today's bonus game, and hopefully you enjoy it.
Rick's put on his archival gloves.
Yes.
He's handling a TV guide with the utmost of care.
Yes, the reverence that the guide deserves. I certainly give it. And this is an interesting one, Mike, because we had our friends in our Facebook group vote on what year to select the TV guide from. And unprecedented turn of events, we had a tie. So we're going to do two TV guide games. And the first one today we're going to be doing is 1977.
Okay.
And then look out in the future for another one.
Yes. And this is unprecedented that we're not breaking the tie with a random number generator.
That's right, yes. If this were the baddies, we would not let the tie stand. But in this case, we're bending the rules a little bit and giving the people, what they want.
That's right.
So I have chosen a 1977 edition of the TV Guide, and this is late August. So the drawback to this is it's right before the fall season. We've got a lot of repeats. However, I think the programs are rather interesting in this night. And this is a Sunday night. Sunday, August 28th, 1977. And so everybody knows, I have a New England edition, so up in the Boston part of the United States. And I'm going to include the three major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, of course, and PBS as well, because there's something here that I can't resist including, and I think that we just have to include for PBS. And because it's Sunday, we'll start at 7 o'clock and go through prime time, so we'll be going 7, 8, 9, 10, ending at 11 o'clock. The way we do this is, if this is your first time, welcome to the TV Guide game here, but I'm going to tell Mike what was on this particular night in television history, and he is going to independently select what he would have watched that night, and I'm going to try to guess his selections. Have I covered everything, Mike?
Yes.
All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
We'll start at 7 o'clock. Starting with the PBS channel, we have Crockett's Victory Garden. This is a instructional show, and the description, host Jim Crockett demonstrates how to repot cyclamen. I'm not sure what cyclamen is. I thought was that something on Doctor Who?
I don't know.
That's at 7 o'clock. CBS has 60 Minutes. Unfortunately, no description. It must have been just too timely to make it to the guide. But,
yeah.
You pretty much know what you're getting with 60 Minutes 1977, so we'll leave it at that. On NBC, we have The Wonderful World of Disney. This is a repeat, but tonight's episode is It's Tough to Be a Bird. The description reads, It's tough to be a bird, laments MC Bird, because men like to shoot, cage, and eat them. Crying Fowl, the cartoon host of this 1969 Oscar-winning short, defends his heritage by tracing the evolution of birds, their influence on human culture. They have inspired both myths and flying machines, and their contributions to language, bird brain, chicken heart, etc. In a live-action sequence, buzzards make their yearly return to Hinckley, Ohio, to the off-key accompaniment of Ruth Buzzy. Rounding out the hour, the short runs about 20 minutes, are clips from some Disney films. This seems a lot less ambitious than it looked when I first got it to that.
Let's just put some stuff about birds in there.
Yeah, that leaves ABC here at 7 o'clock, and we've got the Hardy Boys.
Oh.
A missing husband case takes an unusual twist as the boys uncover a plot on a rock artist's life, but can't get anyone to believe them.
Rock musician or a rock?
It says a rock artist, but I believe it's a rock musician because Rick Nelson is playing Tony in the guest cast, and also Lisa Eilbacher playing Callie. Edmund Gilbert is Fenton. And, of course, we got Parker Stevenson and Sean Cassidy as Frank and Joe, respectively.
Hopefully, Joe gets to jam with this, with Rick Nelson.
I certainly hope so, yes. All right, let's move on to 7:30 on PBS. We've got Americana. A disappearing way of life is recorded in Number Our Days, an Oscar-winning study of an enclave of elderly Jews in Venice, California. Americana. Looks like a magazine-type show, I would assume. Right now, 8 o'clock on PBS, we've got, and there's a full-page display ad, which I'll show you afterwards here, Evening at the Pops. Ethel Merman belts out a medley of her Broadway showstoppers, including Doing What Comes Naturally, I Got the Sun in the Morning, There's No Business Like Show Business, Small World, Everything's Coming Up Roses, I Got Rhythm, Let's Be Buddies. And wow, we got Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops Orchestra. The display ad says the grand dame of American musical comedy brings the Pops crowd to its feet begging for more. Ooh, it says there's no show business like Ethel Merman, and ain't that the truth, huh? All right, so let's go to CBS at 8 o'clock. Rhoda. Tonight's episode, Rhoda, Valerie Harper, receives an invitation to spend an expense-paid weekend in Las Vegas, compliments of her ever-faithful admirer Johnny Venture, Michael Delano. Julie Kavner appears as Brenda. Johnny Venture. Yeah. Probably her reaction to hearing a guy named Johnny Venture is interested in Rhoda. Meanwhile, let me see, the channels on NBC, we've got McCloud. This is 90 minutes. After 2 deaths and much controversy, doctors and lawmen come to the chilling conclusion that a vampire is prowling the nocturnal streets of Manhattan.
What?
We've got Dennis Weaver, Clifford as J.D. Cannon, a regular, I believe, and Terry Carter as Broadhurst. Terry Carter, I guess, from Battlestar Galactica, yeah. And let's see, Diana Muldaur, John Carradine, Michael Sachs, and Reggie Nader in the guest cast. Interesting.
Well, I'm gonna. You think John Carradine is the vampire?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good bet. That's a pretty good bet.
Vampire.
Okay, we got a repeat of The $6 Million Man on ABC. Steve poses as an amateur boxing champ to get inside a boxing tournament suspected of fronting for sabotage. Or should I say, suspected of fronting for sabotage. Steve, Lee Majors, Oscar, Richard Anderson.
Or sabotage.
Sabotage. Suffering sabotage. Interesting. Okay, so we've got Yvonne Craig as Lena, Michael Conrad, Genius Award-winning Michael Conrad as Retsky, and also Harold Sylvester and Joe Kapp. Pretty interesting there. $6 Million Man.
I'd be more interested in Andy Kapp.
Yes. All right, 8:30 on, let's see, Channel 3 is CBS. Guess what we got? You're at the Top. A serious romance blossoms between a popular songstress and Greg Evigan, who is unaware that his new love's fame stems from a binding contract with Hanover. Gabe Dell. Also featuring Nedra Voles, Paul Schaefer, Priscilla Morell, Connie Forsland, and Julia Cobb. So there we go. 9 o'clock on PBS. To be announced.
It's PBS. Okay.
Yeah, to be announced. Okay, that's
one of my favorites.
Always a contender. On CBS, The People's Command Performance. This is a variety special. George Burns and Bernadette Peters introduce performances by show business celebrities selected in a public opinion survey. Entertainment includes an aria by Beverly Sills, a Bible reading by LeVar Burton, and comedy spots by the Ace Trunking Company. Don Rickles, George Carlin, Red Fox, Red Skelton, and Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. Wow, they list the songs. Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend and Hello Dolly by Carol Channing. Robert Goulet and Nancy Dussault doing an Oklahoma medley. This Masquerade, Everything Must Change by George Benson. Hits medley by Paul Williams. Don't Come Home A-Drinkin' by Loretta Lynn. Taking It to the Streets in China Grove by the Doobie Brothers. I Say a Little Prayer, Then Came You by Dionne Warwick. Preempts regular programming. You couldn't have something that spectacular every week, Mike.
No.
That's just a special. And then we have on ABC A Fistful of Dollars. This is, of course, the 1964 movie with Clint Eastwood's debut as the Man with No Name. The laconic gunfighter plays off both sides in a Mexican border town feud. And I think that, well, actually, no. PBS actually has something. It announces something on 9:30. Dickens of London. There's a display ad for this. It's a 10-part series. It's a 10-part series. This is the debut. It's a 10-part biography of novelist Charles Dickens. Pretty interesting. There's a display ad for this, too, with the incredible Roy Dotrice starring.
Is that a quote?
Yeah. Well, that's in the display ad.
Okay.
At 9:30 on NBC, yes, after McCloud, at 8, it's a movie. Special effects highlight The Possessed, a 1977 TV movie about a defrocked cleric, James Ferrantino, who battles demonic forces at an isolated girls' school. So it's a 90-minute TV movie. And the supporting cast are Joan Hackett, Claudette Nevins, Eugene Roche, Anne Dusenberry, Harrison Ford, Diana Scarwood, and PJ Souls. We've got one more show, 10:30, just for completion here. Piccadilly Circus, comedy on PBS. The Goodies, a trio of English satirists, present a version of Jack and the Beanstalk that includes a baked bean beanstalk, an undersized giant, and a race offering 4,000 puppies as a prize.
Man.
That's what we have. Would you like to see the guide, any of the ads? To
If you want to show me a couple of the ads just from across the table.
All right, It's Tough to Be a Bird. There's an animated, or like a drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, on NBC, The Bird in the Cat's Mouth. Here's Ethel Merman. I'm surprised it fits
Yes.
on one page.
At least the dress.
Yes.
Oh, and there's the command performance.
Evening at the, command performance. And we see George Burns, but the bulk of the ad is listing all the stars appearing.
Yeah. I like the little headshots at the bottom.
Yeah, and I do see Paul Williams on there, which I didn't even notice that at first. There's Dickens of London. PBS.
Yes, that guy does look incredible.
Yeah. So I'll let you make your selections now, but this is a interesting night of television.
Yes, for sure.
Some longer shows, some shorter shows. I'm going to make my choices right now. Okay, so you've made your selections. Now, traditionally we usually do this like hour by hour or something, but
yeah,
I could tell you what should I just give you what my picks for the whole evening, what I think you would have selected? Or would you rather just do it?
Yeah, let's go each time bump.
Okay.
And then, I mean, at some point it might become.
Okay. Well, I will have that covered if it happens anyway. Okay. So 7 o'clock leading off the night. Tough choice. I feel that at the time you would have probably watched the Disney show, but I'm thinking now that you would go with Hardy Boys.
I still went with Disney because I think it's more the time. And I'm intrigued by the cartoon. I'm intrigued by Ruth Buzzy narrating something about buzzers.
Yes.
And maybe the movie clips would be cool. It's a weird assortment, but I can almost envision the cartoon like being sort of like, not like Sport Goofy, a little bit like that.
Right.
Like with but other Disney things, like sort of informational Disney things like that are sort of amusing too.
Gotcha. Well, it's an Oscar-winning short.
Yeah.
That's the heart of the program. And who knows, you might get some clips from some Disney films. You might get some delightful bonuses in there, too.
Yeah.
So is that taking you up to 8 o'clock?
Yep.
Well, at 8 o'clock, I had you going with the first half hour of McCloud.
I actually went with the first half hour of Ethel Merman.
Interesting. Which the first half hour of Ethel Merman will feel like 3 hours of anybody else.
Right.
Okay, so
and then a nap for the rest of the night.
Yeah. So what was your thinking there?
Well, I wanted a half hour. I think you're going to get the next one. And it just to see her in that situation is probably the best way to see her. I mean, you got the mighty Boston Pops Orchestra. You got her belting out these songs, not encumbered by some sort of story.
Yeah. Pure, unadulterated Ethel Merman.
Yeah, and it's all about her.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen her on the Muppet Show, but you know, the guests on the Muppet Show only feature so much.
That's true.
It's about the Muppets.
And quite a selection of songs. I think this was before her disco album, so I don't see Alexander's Ragtime Band on the on the card here, but maybe this was one of her last hurrahs before becoming a disco diva.
Also, I think I probably didn't consider McCloud just because I don't think a half hour would have been satisfying.
Probably not.
I considered it until...
Yeah. That McCloud is a 90-minute, kind of wheel kind of show, too, so it's possible that you don't get much vampire action until much later.
And I assume because it's McCloud, you don't really get any vampire action.
Yeah. I'll say this, though. If and when we get to McCloud, we'll probably watch that vampire. If we don't cover it...
I might watch it when I go home tonight.
All right, so you passed up Rhoda and McCloud.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Rhoda, my thinking was, well, I didn't really want to watch Rhoda.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm intrigued by this Johnny Venture person, though.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a recurring character or not, but...
No offense to Valerie Harper. But I like Rhoda on the Mary Tyler Moore Show better.
And $6 Million Man sounds interesting.
It does.
That interesting cast, and I like boxing episodes.
I assume he just really got to hold back, though.
Yeah, pulling his
He could
punches.
punch someone's head off.
I imagine he and Oscar have like frequent conversations about pulling their punches and stuff. Much like, in comic books, when anytime like Peter Parker was accosted by Flash, he'd always like be thinking about, I got to pull my punch or something. Or even like Superman would do that a lot too,
Yeah.
And he'd always have to, I'm pulling my punch or, otherwise.
That's one of the takes on him, right? Is that he's always pulling his punches.
Yeah.
But I bet there's at least one scene of him punching something, like a punching bag or something, and it exploding.
Yeah. And then just, shrugging his shoulders. And, I guess I caught all that one, Okay, well, at 8:30, I'm guessing you wanted to see Year at the Top at 8:30.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's a what we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's a what I saw.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be. Plus, it's Year at the Top.
We'll provide links in the show notes, but yes, we did a whole bonus episode devoted to you actually seeing Year at the Top.
That's right.
So yes, we've got quite a rich history on the podcast with Year at the Top. All right, well, that takes us to 9 o'clock then. And after Year at the Top, I'm gonna say that you went with the People's Command Performance.
Correct.
I mean, so much entertainment there.
I know. I mean, I think you had me at Paul Williams, but then you throw in the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Let alone, George Burns and Bernadette Peters in her early years.
Red Fox.
Yeah.
Don Rickles, George Carlin. Man.
Yeah, the Ace Trucking Company.
Oh.
What a mix of people, too.
A mix of musical styles, a mix of comedy styles.
The cutting edge and the not cutting edge.
Yeah. The cutting edge and the dull edge.
Yeah.
Both sides of the blade. Yeah, I tell you, the Doobies, man.
So, I mean, that covers the rest of the night, right?
It does. That's a 2-hour show, and assuming you're not tempted to move over for The Possessed or Piccadilly Circus, then that covers you.
The Piccadilly Circus just because I don't know what's going on there, but that whole PBS lineup, I gotta say, just sounds like the way PBS used to be.
Yeah.
Arts oriented, a little bit weird, along with that Crockett's Victory Garden, which, possibly that was a local thing. Or
Yeah, I do remember that name of that, and I've seen that in other guides. But I mean,
if it were Sonny Crockett's Victory Garden.
I can only imagine what Sonny Crockett grows in his victory garden.
Charisma.
Yeah.
10-part Dickens biopic.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a night. Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
So, yeah, I think you did about 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest miss was on the Hardy Boys. I kind of took a chance there that because of your noted affection for
Musical
episodes, and but
it was tempting.
But it's not. Maybe that's not really new for the Hardy Boys. Now that I think about it,
Right.
So it's not like if McCloud had a musical episode.
Right. If it had been Rick Nielsen from
Cheap Trick,
Cheap Trick.
That'd been a get.
Yeah.
For the Hardy Boys. All right. Well, yeah. I probably I'm kicking myself for not getting that one, and I tried to get a little cutesy with the McCloud, but I had the second half of the night right. But really, there wasn't much doubt once you got that command performance in there.
Right.
And we'll put pictures of all this in the show notes so you can check it out.
Yeah. And thanks to everyone who voted.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you know what? I'd like to see some discussion in our group. What would you guys like to watch in this night? What stands out to you? Would you have made the same choices?
That's right. Take notes. If you didn't, go back and listen and take notes again. Or maybe we'll post in the group. We'll post the listings.
Yeah.
So then maybe that'll spark some discussion too.
Yeah, and maybe I'll throw in some of the other selections. Like one of the local channels had a Honeymooners episode.
Oh well, yeah.
In there, So, but
hey, if that had been on at 8, see that, then switch to your at the top.
That would have been like a nice little half hour.
Yeah.
Anything to avoid Rhoda, huh, Mike? Yeah, I get it. Pretty much. All right. Well, thanks a lot, and well played as always, Mike.
All right. You too. And thank you for allowing that TV guide out of the vault for a brief period. Get it hermetically sealed again.
That's right. Join us next time for another exciting episode of Battle of the Network Shows. Learn more, leave feedback, and suggest future episodes at battleofthenetworkshows.com. Follow us on Twitter at BatNetShows and like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Battle of the Network Shows.